moment do you want to get like right now? Again? When you like, let me get heartbreak right now just so I can sue. No, you don't want it to
the money. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to Royally Speaking. I'm Demi J.
I'm Tasha. Let's get straight into this topic.
This topic is Akira and Brene. Brene is like the somewhat famous TikToker, and she was sued by her now husband's ex-wife, which she would be the mistress. I don't know. I'm confused by the whole dynamic.
The whole thing is confusing because first of all, wait, what? Like this is a thing? You can sue the mistress or your husband's now wife who used to be the mistress of your husband when you were married. Wait.
So many layers to the story.
What? Like it's so many things going on and it's so many I would say nuances. Well, yeah, nuances. There's a lot of stuff that's just like why they do that?
Unheard of.
Yeah, unheard of. But I didn't know this was a thing. Apparently, it's a thing. I don't know anybody. I know plenty of people who got cheated on. I know plenty of people whose spouse left them for another person. I know plenty of people whose spouse left them for the person who they cheated with. I just didn't know you could sue for it. And apparently,
so the ex-wife, she sued and she got $1.7 million awarded to her.
Yes, she was suing for $3.5 million. No, was it 3.5? Yeah, 3.5 million. But I guess they were like, maybe you ain't suffered that much, but you suffered 1.75 million enough.
We got to discuss how you get into what determines the monetary value and everything too. But let's start with a video of what happened.
A modern-day Montague feud gone viral.
And it was nothing but lies.
North Carolina TikToker Brene Kennard ordered to pay $1.75 million after a jury found her liable for having an affair with her manager, Tim Montague, characterized under North Carolina law as criminal conversation and alienation of affection. Montague's ex-wife, Akira, suing Kennard for her deliberate interference in the marriage, including wrongful and malicious acts.
What's up, y'all?
Saying in a court filing, Kennard engaged in behavior designed to seduce him, like wearing very short skirts and twirling her hair in a flirtatious manner. The plaintiff's attorneys presented evidence, including sexual videos and texts, a video of Kennard dancing in the couple's home, and another video of her saying she cannot wait to be Mrs. Montague. They argued the TikToker, who had millions of followers, flaunted their relationship on social media.
Hi, guys.
That says that my client was telling the truth.
Akira Montague saying as a result of Kennard's actions, she has suffered humiliation, mental and emotional anguish, and injury to her health, adding their actions deprived their two young children of a two-parent household.
She has received justice from losing her husband and the father of her children.
But Kennard argues she had Montague's consent.
She gave her consent. She said it was okay because she knew her marriage was over with and it was done.
Kennard now calling herself Mrs. Montague, saying the couple are married, though NBC News couldn't find any legal documentation supporting that claim. She tells NBC News in a statement, the verdict wasn't fair at all. I fought the lies for 8 days and the jury sought sympathy, not facts, adding it's not over until God says it's over. Tim Montague adding about the TikToker, my wife had no fair shot, especially when defending herself against an entire team of attorneys. As for that $1.75 million payday,
I don't know, but she'll probably never see it.
Boom. Everybody about to start getting sued. I mean, what she's doing and being seductive, wearing short clothes around the house, flaunting their relationship so everybody can see it. Like, there's a lot of little things that typically happen on a day-to-day basis in everyday relationships. And more people about to start getting sued, I'm about to tell you right now.
So the part for me that I don't get is they ended up living together in the same house at some point, which is how she even got that close to him. How does that happen to where the wife is moving the mistress into the same house? Well, I guess she's not the mistress yet, but moving another woman into the same house that you're living in with her parents?
I was so confused about that. I had so many questions. How do you do any of that? Like, the whole thing is like so confusing. Wait, what? So, okay. The first question was did they already have an affair before, what's her name? Breland, whatever her name is, the side chick, before she moved in with them? Or did the affair start after she moved in because she's blaming her for like basically causing the problem?
Right. Yeah.
So I guess she was flaunting being seductive or whatever in the house. So that's one question. So I'm assuming that means that it wasn't going on before, which we don't know. But then, at least according to Akira, it wasn't going on before. It happened after she moved in the house. Okay, but why did she move in the house in the first place? How did we get there?
So apparently, the Brene was already married to another dude, allegedly, to a dude named Devin, who was also like a manager, and they were all like friends with the current husband, Timothy. And I'm guessing they're doing some type of thing together where they ended up moving in. Oh, okay. It says in December 2023, Brene was having marital issues with Devin. Akira and Timothy allowed Brene to move into the home. Okay, so they were having
marital issues. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So she was already married to his friend, which is a weird part of the story.
Oh, bro, you know what? It's time for Devin to come sue. Hey, everybody need to get a piece of this. Devin, you have a suit on your head. You might have a lawsuit on your head. You might have something to come up in and collect for. They should have named Devin as one of the victims in this situation.
Yeah, I wonder if he's helping you anyway.
And then again, according to them, Devin caused the problem. So, well,
right.
Maybe just because they had marital issues. We don't know what the marital issues were about. That's something.
Right.
Even still, it was confusing about why she had to move to their home, but whatever. But they knew each other because, okay, she's a TikToker, right? Mm-hmm. Talking about Brene, the person the defendant.
Yeah.
She's the one who gets sued. Her husband is Devin.
Yes. Or was Devin?
Was Devin her manager?
Yeah, I think Devin was the manager, but Devin was the husband's friend.
Was Devin friends with Timothy?
Yeah, the husband. Yeah.
Devin okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. You just said that he was okay. So Devin was friends with Timothy. So were Akira and Brene friends before the?
Yes, that's how she agreed to let her move in up here, allegedly.
Okay. How did they meet?
High school.
Okay, so they knew each other and they met and okay, so all right.
Initial friendship, these women were part of the same social circle and knew each other from high school. Yes.
Okay. Now, Devin and Timothy know each other.
Mm-hmm.
How is Brene introduced to Timothy? Or how
they were already married. I don't know.
No.
I mean,
how is Brene introduced to Timothy? Is it from Devin? Or is it from
Akira,
because she knows both of them, and both of them know Devin, and both of them know Timothy.
I think it's Devin.
Okay. So Devin introduces Brene to Timothy, but Brene also already knows Akira. So Timothy is like, hey, I got a friend who's also your friend who needs to stay with us because she's having marital issues. This is like very confusing, but either confusing altogether. But that's how I took it based on all of the information that came the way it came.
Yeah,
this could have went so many different ways.
Yeah,
this could have went so many different ways.
The details of all of that are kind of weird, but apparently people knew people.
But one of the big questions was, how did she get into that house? Right. I mean, we jumped around a little bit because we still got a lot to unpack here. Right. So we jumped to the fact that they moved in at some point. And the reason why we jumped to that, at some point in court, that came up as, basically
that's how she began her taunting of.
Yeah, that's how it started or whatever. And then she was clearly like posting about this, maybe on her TikTok page, and like people can see it. And of course, if you're married to someone and that person is flaunting all their flirtations with your husband, I guess that is embarrassing or hurtful, painful. It could cause
but if they were friends, it's betrayal.
It's also betrayal, yes. If they were friends, because I'm like, they knew each other, but is this a friendship? Like, because it seemed like she came there to do that.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as I get in here.
But it's not like she just met her at that time. They knew of each other at least.
Yeah, they knew each other, but I'm just like, what are we calling friends these days at this point?
Yeah, I'm assuming that I don't know, but Akira had enough trust to think that this was a trustworthy enough person to let her move in.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, trust. So now there's broken trust. They put on the screen like what they based the lawsuit around, and I think it was oh my goodness, I know it was betrayal. I know loss of affection or something like that.
Yeah,
That
loss of
came
some
up.
affection. Yeah, I think
That
about
had came up at
something
some
like
point,
that.
too.
If it's not
Yeah.
that word, it's just so I guess pretty much she destroyed her marriage.
She destroyed her marriage.
Causing
There was like
emotional
all these
stress.
little details here. Emotional, just like all of the things that cause. Okay, so there's a jury, of course, there's a trial, but then there's also a judge, and I guess the jury just ruled in favor of the plaintiff, who is Akira, and the judge is the one who decided that it was worth 1.7 million. Now, how do we get to that?
Yes.
Like I thought cheating was just like you just leave and be going about your life, or you get your spousal support, your child support, whatever, and that's it. How you get to like damages? Like, now it's like, no, and it ain't even like, because she probably still can get spousal support and child support and all of that. This is what she's getting from the side chick who used to be the side chick who's now the wife.
Mm-hmm.
So she probably gonna get paid from two people if that was the case. Because I don't know, a few people were saying,
who would be the two people?
What do you mean by two people?
You said she's going to get paid from two people.
I was about to say that, because if she gets spouse support and child support, that's the father. If she gets the lawsuit money, that's the wife. So we gotta prove there's kids.
Yeah.
But if there are kids and you do get child support, that's money. If not, you can probably get spousal support. But I'm gonna say probably, because people were saying that Timothy was giving broke vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to look into that. Did we ever look up Timothy's net worth? Is there a reason for him to have a net worth? Because nobody knows who knew he was before today. I didn't know who any of them were before today,
Yeah,
but
right.
Apparently people knew who Brene was, because she's a popular TikTok influencer, I guess, or whatever you want to call.
That's
what do you call what
TikTok,
you do? Okay. Okay, so she's a popular TikToker.
Somewhat popular, I guess.
Or somewhat popular, right? Well, it was enough. She had enough of a following for Kira to feel like this ain't gonna work, and for the jury to even feel like, oh yeah, that was wrong.
Right, and apparently she has a public network, so she was making money from her TikTok.
Oh, we did look up her net worth, and she's probably popular because how much does she make on TikTok?
She made
$85,000 a month.
Yeah.
$85,000 a month. Yeah, you're popular on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
My another question I had, which we're still waiting to find out if they had kids, but another question I had was, does she have enough to pay $1.75 million? Does Brene have enough to pay the damages? And I mean, I guess that's the question.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I mean, how do we find out the answer to that? Because no matter how much you make monthly, we don't know what the bills are.
Right. Yeah.
We don't know how much you have in your pocket. We don't know how much you can just pay, and then you have to break it down so a monthly payment is. What if she decides not to pay? What if she's just like, okay, well, I'm not paying you?
Yeah.
Then what?
And I think that can't happen if they could prove she has money. But if they could decide she has this amount to pay, then yeah, they could force her to garnish it.
But what if they can prove she makes that money, but they can't prove that she has it to give? Again, if
they
you
get
make $85,000 a month, but your house payments are like $40,000 a month, do you have it? I don't know, but go ahead.
Right. My thing I'm trying to say, they'll dig into all of those finances to find out what you could afford, which is exactly what happened with Tasha K. Mm-hmm. They allowed to get into your bank accounts, and they if they want to go that far, because she might just want the satisfaction of feeling like she won. But if she decides she really wants that money and is going to pay more lawyers more to get that information, she can. Usually people that's making that amount of money can't afford something on the side. So say she's only like allowed to pay like $1,000 or something a month. That's still something regularly she'll be able to get for her. It's going to be rare if they get to that point that she'll get zero from her monthly. But that's if they get to that point where she's digging into her money.
I'm not satisfied with $1,000 a month. That's less than a paycheck.
You're right. Yeah.
If I won $1.75 million, I need to see that.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It depends on what she wants.
I got to raise at work. Like, no.
But they're saying even here on Long Crime, like she just probably wants the satisfaction of feeling I got you on the hook for something. So it depends on what she really wanted. Even though they fight for a higher number, that doesn't mean they always really want that to be the case, or realistically think that's what they're going to get from the case. But they know as lawyers, with good lawyers, they got to ask for a really high amount to start digging into their bank accounts. You see, this case is where stuff like this is currently happening. Similarly, not exactly like this with the mistress, but cases where somebody wanted a judgment against somebody else.
So let me make me understand this and make and I'm pretty sure a lot of people know this, and I don't know if it's different every state. We talking about North Carolina. Let's say they can prove she has that much money, she makes that much money, and she has it to give. Like you can give her the money. How do you pry the money out of her hands? As a civilian,
if you're talking about that specific amount, 1.75 million, is unrealistic. I'll say that. But I'm only saying for that amount. But when I'm saying it is, they ask for that because they know they're going to get that lesser amount, which is the 1.75 million. But that's still not really what they want. What they want is the ability to have control over her, so she has some type of power over her still, is what I think it is.
She's trying to Cardi B, Tasha K.
Right, yeah.
So then you said it depends on if she really just wants the satisfaction.
Right, yes.
I have another question. Has either of them made a statement since the verdict?
Yeah, Brene has made statements.
But we haven't heard from Akira yet.
I'm not sure.
I'm sure Brene did. Brene is all about
Brene said she's not going to get her money. She said she's not going to get that money specifically. So she didn't say she's not going to get any money. I don't know.
Is being Tasha K. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Let's do we have it?
She pretty much tells her that she's not going to get the money.
And allowed the affair.
She gave her consent. She said it was okay because she knew her marriage was over with and it was done.
But the jury didn't agree, awarding Akira Montague the $1.75 million after more than 700 pieces of evidence were presented. Testimony, the jury found that point, leaving Brene Montague with a hefty bill and no answer on how she'll pay.
I don't know, but she'll probably never see it.
Oh, there you have it. I don't think she intends to pay. I'm still concerned about how they're gonna pry the money out of her hands, but maybe there's a way.
If you're going to keep going back to Tasha K, she wiped her butt with a cease and desist and said she didn't care. But that doesn't mean somebody isn't going to come after you for that money. There are ways of doing that. Is my point. It's not like you could just say I'm not going to pay money and nobody's going to look for that money, even though that does happen in some cases. That's not a bet you could always win.
So I guess if you owe somebody that kind of money, at this point they pretty much own you, right? Like if you owe somebody,
if they decide to go that route, because she might just not really be seeking that money and forget about it. But if she decides to do a Cardi B and pry for that money, yeah.
So I did find like a statement. I don't know who. I'm assuming Akira gave this statement to like a reporter because I didn't find a video of it. Hopefully we will, but I'm gonna read what I found. And it's not her saying whether or not she wants the money. It's just her just replying to the whole situation. And it's a quote. It says, "The people at my job, they kind of got rid of some of my stuff because they thought I wasn't coming back because of how much I was awarded." And then she says she also has plans to finish college and buy a home for herself and her young children, ages 4 and 6. So they go to the answer to another question. She does have children, 4 and 6.
Gotcha.
And then it just goes on and on to say some more stuff or whatever. I was raised to respect the marriage. I was raised to respect God. So loyalty, marriage, the White House and the picket fence and the dog and the kid. That's me. That's something she said. And then she also said, I was deeply in love with that man. I would do anything for him. I made sure that I put him first and I shouldn't have. Okay. So they said 1.5, but I thought they said it was 1.75. I guess there's like some confusion about how much it is.
Yeah.
Either way, it's still 1.5 or more. At least $1.5 million. So she plans to go back to work. So maybe she doesn't think she's going to see this money, or maybe she thinks she'll get some of it.
Yeah, I think it's unrealistic. She'll see it all at once. I agree with that part. Even if she might. I'm saying my thing is she might get something. The other girl's acting like she won't get nothing. But yeah, she's probably not going to see 1 million at all. Or not even 500,000 at the most over years. I would say.
Based on that, I would say maybe she was trying to make a point because she literally went back to work.
Right,
so she was just like finished with that. Back to my regular life.
But like saying like she does, if she does get the money, some money, that doesn't mean like it's not a win on her part financially too, because she could still get something that she tries for. That's extra income a month if she wanted to.
Okay, so we still going on facts. We still got more facts. Did I mention that it's only a few states? I might have. There's only a few states that allow that, and I know one of them is North Carolina. What we didn't do was try to figure out which states, like all of the states. And I'm going to do that in a minute, too, because we need to get that up there because I want to get all the facts out so we can start getting into the opinions. So back to now that we're still on facts, back to what we were talking about when it comes to suing for, which is called alienation of affection. That was the word I couldn't think of earlier when I was like, what was the primary thing that she won for? So this was one of the primary things, and it was alienation of affection. And I wanted to see which states allow you to sue for that, because we know North Carolina, because that's where they are. So now we have a list of other states. So it says states recognizing alien of affection claims: North Carolina, Mississippi, Hawaii, New Mexico, South Dakota, Utah, and Illinois. And there's a list of things you also need to prove in order to, get awarded for that. So it's love and affection. A genuinely loving and affectionate marital relationship existed. Loss of affection. The love and affection were destroyed. Malicious conduct. The third party's intentional wrongful conduct, like adultery or manipulation, caused the loss. And then damages. You suffered harm, emotional distress, financial loss because of the broken marriage. And then it does go on to say important considerations, which is like heart bomb laws, which I never heard of before today. These are often called heart bomb actions, a type of lawsuit that many states have abolished. Okay, I don't know what that is. Then there's adultery versus alienation. And even in states without these suits, adultery can still be grounds for divorce, alimony, or custody issues, which we already knew that, because that's usually what most people go in for after a divorce. Let's figure out what heart bomb laws is. Heart bomb laws were a typical type of lawsuit in the 19th and early 20th century. Oh, wow. That allowed people to sue for damages resulting in heartbreak, such as breach of promise to marry, alienation of affection, which is interfering with the marriage. These laws, which are largely archaic and abolished in most states, were criticized and outdated based on sexist gender roles. I think because it only applied to men back in those days. But now, because of laws like that turned into other laws that kind of like stuck around a little bit, now it's working out in the woman's favor, which we need more things to be like that. So we got that. I don't remember if I've said this on screen or not, but we're trying to like go through all the facts so we can eventually get to opinions.
Yeah.
And I think there was like a couple of more facts that I want to go through, but I just don't remember what else I was thinking of. But that was one. I wanted to go through the facts of which states. So we did the states. The Law and Crime video does break down some of the questions, the answers to some of the questions we had.
Understanding these are kind of laws that originated back in the day when it was, men still considered women property, essentially. So there's a reason you don't see this across the country. But how difficult are these claims to prove? So if you look at alienation of affection, you have to prove that there was a genuine love, affection, that there was a deliberate interference by a third party. I guess criminal conversation, you just have to prove that there was an affair, that there was an actual sexual intercourse going on during the course of the marriage. How difficult is this to prove, and what do you do to prove it? How do you prove it? What kind of evidence is introduced in these kinds of cases?
So there's a whole bunch of evidence, but I'm going to take a break for 1 second. We've evolved from fault divorce. You were talking about at the beginning, these laws go way back to where you had to have a reason to get a divorce. You had to prove somebody was cheating. And now in almost every state, you can get a divorce because I want a divorce. So it makes it hard to reconcile I want a divorce with pointing the finger at somebody else. So that's just to get to your first point. But as far as how hard is it to prove these cases, it's hard. You mentioned two, right? There's the alienation of affections and the criminal conversation. As I understand criminal conversation, it's what we call a strict liability case. Like if you prove that it happened, there's liability, even if the person cheating with the spouse didn't know the spouse was married. So that's an interesting one in and of itself. The other one, the bigger one, the one that they're really traveling under, the alienation of affections, is my husband left me because she made him leave me. And it's hard because most people say your husband left you because he didn't like you, or your husband went with somebody else because the relationship wasn't there. It's very hard to blame somebody else as if your spouse was not a willing participant, right? But that's what they have to do. They have to prove that the other person knew there was a marriage, the marriage still had some viability. There's still a chance the marriage can last. It doesn't have to be a perfect marriage, but some romance, and that it caused the divorce.
I want to know which states do all the cheating. Does all the cheating go on? Like, because it didn't really have like the states with the biggest cities. Like, I didn't see California on the list. New York. Was Georgia on the list?
New York would be too complicated. There's too many people, too many toxic relationships.
There's cheating go on, and then like we thinking about places like Atlanta and some of these other places. What if they cheating with the same sex? Like it's so much to think about. Like, but I don't think Georgia had it. But Illinois was on that list,
right? Yeah,
and there's a nice big city in Illinois. There was a couple of other ones too, but I'm just like y'all, if y'all start suing, I want to see y'all gotta post about it. Make it public because this is actually intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
And I got some friends I need to put on to the situation. Well, no, I don't know nobody who lives in. I know people who live in Carolina.
So let's get to the opinions about the situation.
Moving on to opinions. Well, first, before we even based on a fact, the defendant didn't represent herself, which was weird.
Mm-hmm.
So she basically stood up there and helped defend herself, like with no help. She didn't get a lawyer, nothing. And she called her own witnesses to the stand.
Oh my gosh.
And then one of the witnesses she called to the stand was her husband, who was the man who was in the middle of all this, who he wasn't even being sued. And his defense was that their marriage wasn't like viable or whatever because he didn't love her. And the only reason why he married her was so that he could live in the same house with her and her parents, which is also weird and causes opinions. Yeah. Why did you have to move into the house with her and her parents? And whenever, in these days, and not the 19th and 20th century. Why did you have to move to the house with her parents? And this is why I said there were some responses that were like, it's giving broke vibes.
Yeah.
Which leads to another opinion. Because I'm sure y'all ain't blind. And not being blind will cause opinions.
So they could be on the screen.
Anyway, so now we have this visual. I guess this is Scratchpad. They're just basically asking questions. But I was basically, since we were talking about opinions, a lot of opinions did come up. And the opinions came up about, and this is basically based on whether or not he was broke. Again, this is an opinion. And we're only going into why some of these opinions may happen. And this is not our opinions. We're just trying to look at all the different aspects or whatever. And I called around and I started asking people what they think happened because I was confused about the whole situation. So I'm like, what do you think happened? What do you think happened? And I got feedback. And I will say some of the people did say, you know, again, moving in with her and her parents, and then going to a TikTok influencer was given, maybe he was broke or maybe he needed a place to stay or whatever. And then another thing I was going to say is you're only blind. We all seen the pictures. There are people who have said that there is a clear difference in the physical appearance of these two ladies.
Yeah.
And it's not like he has a type, clearly, for one. And is he with women because that's who he's attracted to? Or is he going for women because that's who he needs in his life? And again, this is just an opinion. This is one of the feedback options I got. Another, one of the feedback opinions I got. Here's another thing that we were saying also, again, he could be more attracted to personality and vibes. So it's just like, he could be like, well, you know, Akira's boring. I'd rather be over here where it's fun with Brene. And that could have been something else because they both of them look like, I haven't seen anybody else who he's been with, but it definitely gives he doesn't have a type. Well, at least not physical. He doesn't have a physical type. Now let's say he's not broke because there's an opportunity, there's an option. I mean, there's a way we can say, like, we're all speculating. So we can definitely say he's not broke. Maybe he did have money. Maybe he moved in with her and married her even though he had money because he needed to pay their bills. I don't know. That's kind of weird, but it could have happened, right? Or maybe he really did marry her because he loved, because the jury clearly didn't believe him. They didn't believe that he wasn't in love with her. So maybe he was in love with her and then he fell out of love with her. But ultimately, to me, it looks like she seduced him. But go ahead. What were you going to say?
I would say, before you get to the other girl's part, I'm going to say on Tim's part, like, it could be like in between. He does like her, but he also, you know, the other girl did, like, I guess, entice him. Like, I mean, true. But there was something about specifically Akira and Tim. I think I just sped past it. Akira and Tim. I'm talking about Akira and Tim, not Brene. Mm-hmm. He probably did like the ex-wife or whatever, but We still didn't actually see, because we didn't actually see the court cases, if there was any evidence that they had that showed that he liked them. But what I was about to say was the jury. The jury could not think that what you just said. They don't even have to believe that he was in love with her.
Mm-hmm.
They could look at it from a completely emotional standpoint. It's like they just don't like him, even if he's playing her. So they will still say that regardless, even if they didn't really feel that way.
That she just didn't like him?
That they would side with Akira based on an emotional thing. With the juries do this too. They sympathize with the person who would be like the victim in this case, which would be Akira.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll say that as an excuse, they'll believe that he said that he loved her, but really they just feel like it's a bad situation, so they're still gonna
side with
Akira
her
the
like
money,
still
right?
In a bad situation,
right,
no matter what.
Right.
All right, let's go back to opinion and looks. I spoke to some women who said they wouldn't be attracted to Tim if he could leave, and she won twice because now she got rid of him. Not only was he not attractive, or maybe I've heard she's too pretty for him, but hey, to each his own, right? And that he probably did her a favor by leaving, and then not only did he do her a favor by leaving, she also got the money as a reward. So, but ultimately, to me, like, to give my own opinion, he seems to be happy where he is now. It doesn't mean he wasn't happy where he was. He just seems to be happy, and he could have very well been seduced or whatever. Who knows? I don't know. They said she was twerking on in the bathroom when she was living in the house with him. Said she was walking around with barely nothing on. I'm sure there was something he was attracted to. Sorry, I'm sure there was something he was attracted to, because he wouldn't just not only cheat but then leave.
Well, she's also, don't forget the fact that she's also a famous TikToker too. So nobody knows that could be a name to fame, and usually money comes along with that too.
Now, but you going back to maybe he was broke.
Not necessarily. There's men that aren't broke that are still attracted to fame and money. As well.
Okay. I don't think we.
I don't know what happened to our visual.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think there's really a way, as much as I want to know because I'm nosy. Like, I know he's like a manager, right?
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Something like a TikTok manager.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever be able to find out what type of money he has. So this is all speculation. This is all just opinions. This is all just what if, then probably that. Then so we really don't know for real. I'm just trying to go over all the possibilities since the situation is new and confusing. I guess it ain't new, but it's
okay. So let's get into, I guess, what other people have to say. So let's read some comments.
We're gonna read the comments. Yeah. Okay.
She said, TJI 620 says, yup, let me get that bag. Sis was bragging about stealing her man and everything. Good for her.
Little Mo 83 says, let me start researching states. That's what we were saying. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, because that's where I was at, right?
Sexy Melanin said, did they actually get married, or she just called him her husband? I think she just called him her husband.
Yeah, because they said she called herself Miss whatever their last name is.
Right, yeah.
I forgot that fast. Montague.
Okay, it's just Phoenix. I don't agree with this. They said they should have made her shut down her pages. I don't think it's that serious on that level.
She might be able to if she don't get that money. Like, if she dead serious, she might own her TikTok page at some point. Bro, this is what, I ain't gonna say who said it, but this is what somebody said when I called and asked. I don't know if it's Clacklin 06. He's not a prize.
I mean, we don't know too much about him, and she's the one that they're saying is a TikToker. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was also saying that too. Like, we don't know. He might be, because at one time Akira said he was writing love letters every day. He said he didn't write the love letters every day. But sometimes they don't look like a prize, but they be having a lot going on behind the scenes. Y'all know what they be doing. Like, men be seductive too in their own little ways. They be doing little stuff that'll just reel you on in. You be like, well, he ain't all that, but he be doing it be things.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably clean up nice. We see him looking like this because that's how
well, he was clean. He's kind of cleaned up in the video with her.
Why he smile like that? He smile like they make kids take their school pictures. The kids just don't want to be there. And they like, you gotta smile, otherwise you can't get up next night.
Sister says, I'm happy for her, but winning $1 million lawsuit against someone who basically be broke would piss me off. Oh, she don't think she got money.
Who she think is broke, Renee?
Yeah. Because she said winning a lawsuit against them.
Somebody just said good.
Period. Let's start making people pay for stealing your man.
That's why y'all researching them states there, right? Ain't it? That's what, find out which states you can make people pay for stealing your man.
I said, why is the so-called husband not owning nothing? I guess you mean owing nothing, not owning.
But I mean, I went into that. Like he might owe something on a separate level because he left. She should be able to get spousal support and child support. But we just don't know about that part of the story. Maybe that's coming. I don't know. How long ago did they break up? I didn't look at all of that. We didn't get all those details, but that's something.
Mm-hmm. I know damn well that ain't Tim that calls all. They know it.
I mean, that's an opinion. Oh my God, I'm not reading that. You can if you want to.
That woman is just yuck. I mean, she could be saying that because of how she acted in the situation.
That's true. That is true.
Because she is taunting her, and we forgot to mention when she got on the stand, Brene got to question Akira.
Yeah, because she's representing herself.
Right,
so she got to call her own witnesses or whatever.
Right. So she's representing herself like she's the lawyer, like would normally be, but the person that would normally be questioning the accuser in this case, right, is her.
Mm-hmm.
So she was saying stuff like mentioning her miscarriage and stuff, which was like they made the audience gasp. So.
Yeah, because she was like, that must have been hard for you.
Right, yeah.
Right? And then she answered back, well, I guess you wouldn't know because you ain't never had no kids. So that's another reason why I knew she had kids.
Right.
And so the judge had to step in and be like, cut that out.
Right, yeah.
And then, but I mean, it's kind of, she even called her husband to the stand. He had to answer to her. It's so weird. Mm-hmm. The whole situation, I can't find no videos. It looked like the reporters were allowed in court, but I guess there were certain parts they weren't allowed to record. So we didn't get to see it, but it must have been interesting. But yeah, she was taunting her. So yes. So yes, yuck on the taunting. Also, yuck on the seducing your friend's husband. So yuck 2 times. And probably some more. I just can't think of everything.
Yes, I don't think I would ever be in that situation where I would be Brene. But shoot, let me get a chance to be in Akira. I'm not kidding. Somebody might.
I don't even want to be Akira, like, because maybe if you were married to him, right? You don't like him. But let's say you are. I mean,
if I actually got the 1.75 million, I get heartbreak. I got heartbreak for free. Yeah.
So you mean after the heartbreak, like, because do you even want the heartbreak to have to get to the 1.75? You know what I'm saying? Like, you do.
I got heartbreak for free. So yeah.
No, I mean, but do you want to get like right now? Would you like, let me get heartbreak right now just so I can sue? No, you don't want it to
the money. Yeah.
With.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I didn't come break my heart, please, so that I can get the 1.7.
I got to get the money though, is the thing, not just for fun or to prove a point.
So if you knew for a fact you could get the money, you would take the heartbreak from a man you were in love with. Yeah. You would want him to move his side chick in the house with you, have her seduce him and take it from you.
I know.
Leave you with your kid. Yes, you do, because you want 1.75 million. So you do want.
If it came along with that, yeah, it's worth it. If you actually get in the 1.75 though,
it's enough to break your home with your kids.
I guess kids is one thing, but I don't have kids.
Okay, but that matters.
Yeah. So if without kids, which would be me currently, yeah.
So you like.
But homes get split up for free too at the same time.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Yes, but is it enough money for you to like have a broken home? Like, I don't. Well, you said not with the
people
kids.
Got broken homes for free.
But would you ask for a broken home for free? No. So why would you ask for a broken home for money?
If he wasn't all that, yeah. If he was a great parent to the kid, yeah. But depends on how he is too. If I'm getting rid of him, that's breaking up the household too, isn't it?
That's because everybody you broke up. I was gonna say that's everybody you broke up with, you don't want no more. But what if it was somebody you like? I wish I never broke up with that person.
No, because at the time I was with anybody, I still wanted them. So yeah, it still was like.
But you over them now, so you understand the concept of getting over somebody.
And so if I had to go over it again for the money, yeah.
What if you found somebody that was worth having? Then, like, they worth keeping, and is that person worth trading?
I'm gonna be honest.
$1.5 million.
I'm gonna be honest. In my personal opinion, any man that would do that was never worth keeping, in my opinion. So if it's him, no, what he's doing proves he was never worth keeping.
So you would give
him and somebody like him that would do that.
But you said you would ask for a person you were in love with.
If I fell in love with him and he did something like that, or a different dude did something like that, that would show their character more than anything. I was in love with them and I shouldn't have been. So it took me away from them and I get the money.
So you won't be interested in fixing it.
Not if it's him and it would do something like that, because you ain't worth it enough at that point. Only because of specifically what he did and how he did it.
So you think there's a chance you would fall in love with him?
If there was a chance, yeah. Or so that's what I said, or somebody like him, not specifically.
That's all I was saying, because I
somebody let's say somebody that's really handsome, but he had the same problem, like he was really into the big girl for whatever reason he was into her.
I thought you were saying him because you already know that he's like that.
Right, but say if it was somebody else like that too, same thing would apply. Because character over everything, that means he was never worth keeping.
What if he just got drunk one day and slipped?
But this ain't one day. That's why I said this was
Right,
him,
okay.
but this specific situation.
Okay. So, but you saying bring it on, basically, instead of I'll just avoid that altogether.
Yeah.
You saying I'd rather have it
Mm-hmm.
than not have it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have the $1.7 million and never have my heart broken at all.
Right. Yeah. Especially only probably because every woman.
And y'all wonder why they be saying we money hungry. Like this is why men don't trust women right now, because they were like y'all would do anything for money. Like everything
no,
is money.
not
like,
anything. Because if he was a good man, then no. But I'm not saying only because he showed that he wasn't a good man. So a good man that never would have had his problems. No, I was specifically someone like him or him that has that problem. It's a personality flaw.
But you gotta think about what you're saying. You want a personality flawed person to come into your life. So you can get the money.
If it happened, I wouldn't mind. I would say I would say that's a win situation instead of a lose situation for me personally. Not that come bring it on really.
But you wouldn't. But you're not saying bring it on like
I'm not like I would never want this to happen to me. Like, no, not.
But you're not I need that to happen.
Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're still giving money over everything.
No, I already said it's not money everything, because if he actually turned out to be a good man and that stuff never happened, I would say no.
But okay, so again,
I'm only saying because that happened. To me, that makes you not a good man because of how everything played out with the other girl. To me,
but this is the thing, right? When you say if he was actually a good man, then you never had that situation. Then of course it's not money over everything because you don't have that. That doesn't happen.
Right. And so I'm only talking about in the case where this happens.
Right. And the only way this happens is
if I got with a man and he was good, this never happens.
Right. So
you're only in the situation where this happens is what I'm talking about.
Which means money over everything.
No, only
because
where this
money
happens.
over everything, because this only happens if you get with that type of man. It doesn't happen if you don't get with that.
So
type
how
of
is
man.
that money over everything
Because
if you don't get with that type of man?
You would get with that type of man so you could get the money.
No, I said if that happens. I didn't say I'm getting with that man so it happens. I'm saying if it happens, it's not the worst thing ever. I'm not saying I'm purposely getting in there for it to happen. No.
Okay. Right. That's what I'm
right. Yeah. Because that's why I kept saying if I had a good man, this never happens. That doesn't mean that clearly shows I'm not purposely.
The whole point is having a good man just gets eliminated out of this conversation. Having a good man doesn't belong in this conversation.
But you're saying money over everything. This situation could never happen, and I'll be fine with it.
Right.
So that's not money over everything. Of course you'll be fine with it. That's not money over everything.
But you were saying you would like it to happen.
No, I'm saying if it did happen, I would want the money out of it.
Okay, if it did happen, like because a few minutes ago you was definitely giving "Bring It On" vibes.
No,
you was definitely giving. Oh yes.
Well, I would say yes if that was the situation I was already about to be in, or involved.
He was already in that situation.
Like I'm already almost in her position.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I said. Depends on the man, everything.
Okay. Yeah, so all that makes sense. Like, because if I'm already in that position, then yes, just getting the lawsuit is an added bonus.
Yeah.
But again, if I'm in love with somebody, I'm like, not let's find a way to get to the money. Let's find a way to resolve this. Like, so
right.
That's the only place.
But that's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. Usually, in a good man situation, I would resolve it. In his situation, I don't think he's a good man because of everything. So not in that specific situation. I don't feel like that resolving. He would be resolving it for me, maybe because I'm not already personally attracted to him, or like somebody would move in with their mom and do all the stuff that he's doing. It's unappealing to me. So like, how am I feel like he's so valuable otherwise? Like that's what I'm saying, specifically him, his situation, not even just his looks.
Ooh, that's another question. Would you let him move in with you? Would you even marry him in that case if he's like, I gotta move in with you and your parents?
Me personally, no. Unless he was just perfect otherwise, which it don't seem like it because he has an affliction for the other girl for some reason.
And she didn't just say perfect. She said he got to be perfect otherwise. There's a difference between perfect and perfect. Otherwise, there's two different things, okay? Yeah. Because if your only problem is you broke and everything else is perfect, then maybe you get a chance.
Right, yeah.
But clearly everything else ain't perfect because you cheat.
Right. Yeah.
And easily seduced.
Not even cheated, it's how you do it in the situation. What is your problem that makes you so dumb and ugly in the situation?
And you letting your side chick post it all over
yeah.
social media and all of
and
that.
seem entertained by
you know,
it.
and she in the house and all
Right,
of that.
yeah.
That is kind of like that's way not perfect. Like, no, your side chick can't be in the house to be perfect.
Especially at the point you already had to come live with me and my family. After then that happened afterwards.
Yeah, it didn't have. Okay, I guess he didn't move a side chick in the house. They moved the chick in the house who became a side chick.
Right. Yeah.
Still, again, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of not perfect stuff. So I do understand at that point being like, no, give me my money. Like, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, but then at the same time, he should be the one, like, okay, I was about to say she's not the guilty party, but yes, she is. Because she did a lot of intentional embarrassment and taunting and all that stuff. And so yeah, they both crazy. But I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for more details so we can find out where he has to, where he owes and where he's responsible. So that's what we're waiting for. Anything new comes out, I definitely need to find out. And we definitely need to come back and put it up here. We need to end this.
Yeah.
We've been on here for a minute talking about this. This is a topic. Thank you for watching. This is Royally Speaking. I'm NY Tasha.
And I'm Demi J.
Bye.